This is the HansMaker F1 Pro, a 20-watt fiber laser that can do some really cool stuff. Now, we've done laser engravers before, but this is something completely different. Now, don't get me wrong, diode lasers are still incredibly useful and a really cool technology, but between diode lasers and fiber, the two don't even begin to compare. There are a lot of benefits to a fiber laser, but to name a few, not only are they insanely faster, but their beaming technology is more superior, meaning higher quality engravings, on top of the fact that they are insanely good at engraving on inorganic material. Now, there are a lot of different manufacturers and brands that make fiber lasers, but today we're using the HansMaker F1 Pro, an incredibly easy to use fiber laser. Once we connect the USB from the back of the unit into our computer and make sure we have it imported into our software, all we really need to do is make sure that our engraver is focused on the material that we're going to be engraving on. And with two capacitive buttons at the top, this is incredibly easy to do. All we need to do is move the unit up and down until our two laser indicators become a single point on our target object. And when I say a fiber laser is insanely faster than your average laser engraver, I mean exactly that. They are insanely fast. All of this while still having a higher quality image and engraving. Now that we have everything hooked up and connected to Lightburn, we have a few things in the studio that we're going to throw at this and see how it does. Keep in mind, all the footage that you're going to see will have no speed changes and be done in real time. The first thing we're going to throw at this was going to be one of these small leather patches. We have a pack of these, and you can pick these up almost anywhere, Amazon, eBay, and there's several wholesaler sites for laser engraving blanks. One of the really cool things about a fiber laser as opposed to a diode laser is in Lightburn, we're able to get an actual trace or outline of the area we're going to be engraving, which means we can perfectly line up whatever material we're going to be using. Not only are our engravings incredibly fast, but we can see from our close-ups that this is hands down the best quality I've ever got from a laser engraver. Now, we have a family hard drive that kind of floats around, and it has a lot of backups from our phones for family photos and things like that. But I think it would be really cool to throw it into the HansMaker so we can mark it so everybody really knows what it is. All I had to do is find a free vector image and then throw it into the software, and it's come out absolutely perfect. It's not exactly my personal style, but I know that it's something that the wife will absolutely love. One of the really fun things about a fiber laser is because it doesn't take a lot of time, we can just take some random things and throw it at it and see how it works out. So that's exactly what I did. But now how about we take a closer look at the HansMaker F1 Pro. The HansMaker F1 Pro has a 110 by 110 millimeter field length, which means we can engrave all the way up to 110 by 110 millimeters. It also has an optional rotary accessory in case you want to engrave any cylindrical items. But what's really cool is once we remove this bolt from the unit, we can take it from its pedestal and turn it into a mobile laser engraver. This is really impressive for objects that don't exactly fit under the pedestal, something like an appliance, a car, or even a bicycle. You pick up the engraver, press it against the object that you're wanting to engrave, and then hit go. I haven't done this yet, but I'm sure I will in the future. This isn't the heaviest object in the world, but it's definitely not light. So if you plan on using it like this, make sure you have a fairly steady grasp on it before you start engraving. I'm sure there are countless projects that I could come up with in the future to use the HansMaker F1 Pro. I've always been extremely interested in product design, so fiber lasers are definitely technology that I find myself being incredibly interested in, as there's so many applications and options that we have with them. And for the F1 Pro, it's incredibly simple and easy to use, especially if you're already familiar with software like Lightburn. And for our connections on the back, it's as simple as USB to the computer, the cable connecting to the pedestal, an optional port for our rotary tool, and then our power. One of the other cool things about the F1 Pro is being a fiber laser means it's extremely accurate, and we get some really high detailed engravings, which really opens up the door for some of our future projects. Now we can engrave on all sorts of materials, leathers, woods, acrylics, and several others. But one of the really cool things is if you know what you're doing, you can even engrave on glass, which I have a feeling I'll be doing in the near future. If you're interested in something like this, then I'll make sure to have all the links available in the description down below. And keep in mind, for Black Friday, HansMaker has a 45% discount on the F1 Pro. There was a time where having something like this in your shop wasn't really a viable option for most people, but these new laser engravers are getting insanely good, and HansMaker has done a great job with the F1 Pro. So I think it's going to be sticking around for quite a while.